Everyone, this is Phantom Duels here, and today I'm gonna be doing What If Deku Was Betrayed Part 2. So yeah, before we start, I'm gonna say one thing. Izuku's power is gonna be kinda like Todoroki, but instead of being like almost like Todoroki, he'll be able to control his ice and be able to summon it. So that is all I'm gonna say. So let's start the What If. So we're gonna start at All My Viewpoint. And when Izuku was fighting Bakugo, there was a camera recording the whole fight, as All and the other heroes were looking at the video, and they were scared about the power that Izuku was holding. As we cut to All Might was scared the most out of this power, and was scared about Izuku's animal form, as All Might was thinking about if he chose the wrong successor, as he thought about it, but he erased those thoughts and went back to watching the video. As he was saying, Young Bakugo is a great successor, but young Izuku Midoriya has so much power, and I chose young Bakugo. As Omai was having second thoughts about the successor thing, as the One for All users came to Omai's mind and dragged him in and started to talk to him as as All Might was dragged into his mindscape and was looking at the One for All users and was confused and said to them, "So this is why the reason you guys weren't talking to me for that very long time." As all of them nodded, and Nanashimara just came in and said, "So now you see, All Might. What? Now you see, why we were disappointed in you for choosing the wrong successor." And yes, guys, if I forgot to say that Bakugo is the successor of One for All on my first episode of the series, I'm sorry. Uh, Nana Shimura was talking to All Might, saying, "We're disappointed in you that you decided to betray your successor over power." As All Might said, but One for All needs a strong successor to help this world. As Nana Shimura was disappointed in All Might, as she said, "All Might, don't you forget where you started from." As they all left and put All Might, as they left All Might there in his thought, as he said, "Don't forget where I came from." As we cut back to Izuku Midori, as Izuku was walking away from the fighting field, and everyone, as Izuku was walking away from the fighting field. I'm sorry I said that 3 or 4 times. Walking away, everyone were shocked about the power that they saw from one person, as they heard Izuku say to Mr. Aizawa that he would die if he used 2% of his power in the fight. As they looked and saw Izuku walking away, as he looked back and gave them a devilish smile and disappear in a burst of wind. As we cut back to Izuku, Deku Deku was walking. Deku was running with a good amount of speed that nobody can see you. As he appeared in front of his dorm room and got inside and went to sleep. As someone came in. She had blue hair. Well, I'm gonna say this. I am not saying the whole details. I'm sorry. Well, I'm going to say it's Nejiri. Nejiri tapped Deku's back as Deku didn't woke up, and she did it again, and Deku just yawned and said, "Ugh." "Oh, hi, Nejiri. What's up?" As Nejiri looked and saw how Deku looked like. He was taller than her, and yes, guys, he looked the same as you see in the screen. The photo that you see in the screen, that's Izuku. Okay. As Nejire was blushing a bit and started to stutter a bit when she was about to ask him the question. She said, and Izuku was like, uh-huh. And then she calmed down and said, "Do you want to train with us?" Train with us. As Isuku smiled and said yes. As they went to the gym where Mirio and Tamaki were waiting for them. As they saw Nejire blushing as she was looking at a person standing next to her. As as they got where Mirio and Tamaki were at. As Tamaki was the first one to say something. And he asked Nejire, who's this person? As Nejire was still blushing, as she got back to her, as she got out of her thoughts and answered Tamaki and said, "This is Isuku Midoriya." As Mirio was shocked, he knew how Isuku Midoriya looked like. He was a short, green-haired kid. As Muriel's got out of his thoughts and started talking. "So you're Isuku Midoriya." As Isuku nodded and said, "So you're Muriel and Tamaki, the top 3 heroes in UA, right?" As they all nodded and said, and Deku just smiled at them and said, "Okay, I want to fight all 3 of you." As Nejire, Tamaki, and Mirio started laughing and saying, "Man, this kid got some guts to fight us." As Isuku gave them a glare. The same glare that you see on the picture, that's the glare that he gave him. A glare that showed no emotion and was telling the truth. As they all stopped laughing and looked at him and said, "Okay." And Isuku, as we go back to Nejire's thoughts, as she was thinking, she was looking around and saw a camera and said that she'll be back. As she went to Principal Nesu's office and told him that if he could keep an eye on the camera of the gym class. As he was confused about it. As Nesu asked, why should I, Nejire? Nejire explained to Nesu everything that was gonna happen in the gym. As Nesu was really interesting about this because he saw how strong Isuku was in the fight with Bakugo. As Nesu agreed and told Nejire, "Okay, I'll be keeping an eye on the camera." As Nesu went to the camera room and told all the teachers to come and the students to come too. As all the students and teachers went to the camera room and were seeing the top 3 heroes in My Hero Academia and UA. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say My Hero Academia. And UA fighting with a person that was almost as tall as All Might and was wearing a blue jacket. And yes, guys, the jacket that you see on the screen, that's the same jacket he's wearing. That's the same jacket. As Mirio was the first one to go up and said, okay, Suku, you're gonna fight me." As everyone was shocked to hear the name Isuku. As when they heard that, they looked at Class 1A and said, That Isuku Midoriya?" As Class 1A nodded with a sad look. As all the classes were a bit scared and a bit surprised. As we come back to the fight, Isuku took off the coat and told Nejire to hold it for him. As when she held it, it felt so warm. As Isuku was in his fighting stand, and Nejire says, "Start." No, Sorry guys, I didn't mean to say nature. Tamaki says start. As as Mirio used his quirk and went through the ground, as Isuku knew where he was going because of his senses. As Isuku sensed that he was gonna come from his back, as Isuku just turned his hand into ice and punched straight to the back of his hand, to the back of him, and hit Mirio straight in the gut and sent him flying to a wall. As in the wall, as Mirio was flying to the wall, Mirio landed on his feet and was trying to catch his breath. As Mirio saw Isuku's hand was covered in blue eyes, as the eyes disappeared, and Isuku just smirk on smirk sorry guys smirk Mirio and told him, my turn. As Isuku disappeared with blinding speed, nobody could see where he was going, not even Mirio, as he activated his quirk and started to search for him. As Isuku as Mirio went back up and saw that Isuku was right in his face, as Isuku just poked his head and sent them flying to a wall. As everyone was shocked that that one of the top 3 heroes in UA were sent flying with one poke. And yes, Isuku was only using 10% because of his quirk, because of the quirk that Mirio had. So that's why he was sent flying real fast. As all the teachers were looking at Mr. Isawa and told him, how is your student this strong? And Mr. Isawa just looked at them with a tired look and said to them, oh, he just unlocked his power at the USJ when he was attacked by the Nomo. So we don't actually know how strong this kid is. As Mr. Isawa was tired, as he started yawning, and told everyone to keep looking, and you'll see how strong this kid actually is. As Mirio got up again and said, how strong are you? As Isuku said, I don't really know. I just unlocked my powers. As he disappeared again, reappeared in front of Mirio, grabbed his head, slammed him to the ground. Not so hard so he doesn't get knocked out. Grabbed his head, slammed him to the ground, and disappear and reappear with no Mirio. As Tamaki and Nejire were asking, where is he? Where is Mirio? As Isuku said, oh, I brought him to Recovery's Girl room. I didn't want him to be unconscious, so I just brought him with at least half of his strength there. So she's healing him right now. As they were all shocked. It was only like 1 second that he came, and it was only like a second pass, and he came back without Mirror. As everyone in the camera room were surprised and shocked. They saw that he only grabbed his head and shot him to the ground and disappeared and reappeared without Mirror, and heard that he said that he brought him to Recovery's Girl room. As we cut back to when Isuku brought Mirio to Recovery's Girl room. As Recovery Girl saw a blur, and she said, as she saw Mirio on the bed, badly hurt, as the blood told her, hey Recovery Girl, it's me, Isuku. I'm gonna tell you this, me and him were fighting it was a sparring match, and we used half of our power, and I try not to kill him. As Recovery Girl was in her head, oh my, you have met your match. I bet this kick could easily just touch all for one and knock him out. As Recovery Girl said, okay, and Isuku told her, oh, Recovery Girl, me and you are gonna have a nice long talk about my powers. As she was surprised, and as the blur disappeared and came back to the gym, as Isuku yelled out, and Isuku said, who's next? I'm not even warmed up. As they saw that Izuku had no scratches on him. As then it came to be Tamaki's turn, as he said, okay, you'll be fighting me next. As Izuku said, okay, if I'm gonna be fighting you, let me stretch. As he stretched and said, I want to use my form. As he was saying this instead, he was saying, I want to use my form, so I'll use my form. As Isuku was starting to take his shirt off, as Nejire was blushing really hard, as Nejire told Isuku, was yelling at Isuku, what are you doing? As Isuku told her, taking off my shirt so I can transform. As everyone was surprised when they heard transform, so when Isuku took his shirt off, all the girls had a nosebleed. Yes, all of them. All of them that were in the camera room had a nosebleed. Even the ones that Isuku don't like. Oh yes. As Isuku was starting to grow taller, his body was starting to turn darker and darker as he grew fur. So dark that even the moonlight can't see him. As Isuku got taller and started howling. And yes, guys, I know what you're thinking, that only werewolves can only transform at night when the full moon is out. This is My Hero Academia. There's plot armor. I can use plot, so it doesn't really matter. As Isuku just was howling and looked at Tamaki, as Tamaki was scared a bit and surprised. As Tamaki started to use his tentacles, as Isuku used his telekinesis to talk to him. He can only use telekinesis to talk, don't worry. As Isuku told him in his head, can you hear me? As Tamaki said in his head, yes. How can you talk to me through your head? As Isuku said, ability that can only be used in this form. As Tamaki said okay, and Izuku asked him, would it hurt if I break one of your tentacles? As Tamaki said, no it wouldn't. As Izuku smirked in his werewolf form, as everyone saw the smirk, they were all scared. As the tentacles were coming straight at Isuku, as Isuku disappeared in blinding speed and cut one of the tentacles and reappeared in front of Tamaki and told him, and Satoru said, yo, thanks for the tentacle. As Isuku disappeared and reappeared with a fried tentacle in his hand and started eating it in his werewolf form while sitting down. As everyone saw his teeth, they were so sharp that even class 1A were scared of him. As Isuku stopped the camera and appeared in front of the camera and was eating. As he put one eye in there, and everyone saw all of the hatred, anger. Isuku was showing them his emotions. So yes. As Isuku said to the camera, de-transform and said, so that's where you are. So that's where you guys are. As they saw Blur standing behind them, as they looked and saw two Dekus, as Deku said, that's just a cop, that's just my eye, copying myself. As they all saw Deku there, he had no shirt on, so I can't say anything about that. I'm just giving you a warning. As Isuku was stretching, as Nesu asked, are you going back to the fight? Look correctly, I'm already there. As Deku appeared in front of the camera and said, what's up? As they all were shocked, they looked behind it, all they saw was an image of him waving goodbye. As give me a minute. As Isuku got off of looking from the camera and went down and transformed into his werewolf form and told them, and used his telekinesis and told them, okay, let's fight. As Isuku just didn't want to hurt the man anymore and just de-transformed and said to him, Oh, thank you for the tentacle. I was hungry. As Izuku just appeared behind him and said, "Good luck." Boom, and knocked him out. And paralyzed him with his two sharp nails of his werewolf form, and hit one of his weak points and paralyzed him, and just disappear and reappear. As Izuku said the same thing. I brought him to Recovery's girl room as he appeared next to Nesu and told Nesu, "Hey Nesu, is it okay if you put a barrier?" As Izuku just said, as Nesu put a barrier on the gym, and Izuku smiled at him and said, "Thank you." As he disappeared and reappeared in front of Nejire. As then Izuku told Nejire to give him his jacket back. As she gave it back to him and was sad that she couldn't have it. As Izuku saw that and was confused. As Nejire said, "It's my turn." As Nejire put her hero costume on, and Izuku kind of blushed at this, and she saw that and was smirking at him and said, and Izuku was like, "Don't even think about it." As Nejire started throwing blow to blow and was like, "I don't want to be mean to a girl that is pretty nice to me." As he said, forget about it, and just appeared in front of Nejire and tapped her on the head and sent her flying to a wall. But he caught her and told her, "I am not gonna hurt you. Just admit defeat." As Nejire was blushing because he was holding her bridal style, as she said, "I admit defeat." As Izuku said, "Good," and put her down. As Izuku started walking away, and told Nejire, "Well, Nejire, see you later." As Izuku disappeared with blinding speed and reappeared in his dorm. As Nesu activated the dorm camera and saw Izuku was already there. And as they opened the camera where they see Izuku, as Izuku looked at the camera and said, "Hey Nesu, if you're hearing this, I'm gonna go take a nap. If you need me Nesu, or Mr. Aizawa, just say the word and I'll be up here." As he went to sleep, as Nesu shut the cameras off and said, "Well everybody, this is proof that we're gonna have another top UA hero." As Nesu was smiling, saying, "Well, say to looking at All Might," as All Might already knew what he was thinking, as All Might as Nesu smirked at All Might. All Might was surprised that he saw Nesu smirking, as Nesu already knew the plan that All Might had to give the power to Bakugo, but Nesu didn't agree to it and just said, "Do what you want to do. It's not my fault if this kid becomes more powerful than you." As Nesu was smirking at him and giving him the look saying, I was right," as All Might felt betrayed. His heart, his heart was starting to turn into little pieces. Imagine a paper that you break 3,000 times in super speed. As All Might was in his heart, "I am betrayed." Imagine that anime cry that some people do when they're sad. Yeah, that anime cry. As a few hours later, Izuku woke up and heard a knock on his door and saw Nejire, Tamaki, and Mirio at his dorm. As Izuku was waking up and walked to the door and saw them, and he told them, "Hey, what's up?" As Mirio and Tamaki were like bowed to him and said, "Thank you for not killing us." As Izuku looked at them and started laughing and said, "Why would I kill you both? You guys are nice people." As Izuku let them in and told them, "So what do you guys need?" As Izuku, sorry guys, if you heard that door, that was because I was trying to close it. I'm sorry. As Izuku told them, "What you guys need?" As Nejire, Tamaki, and Mirio told them, "Principal Nesu needs to talk to you." As Izuku told them, "Hold on to me." As they hold on to him, as he grabbed Nejire into a hug. Not like an actual hug, it's just like a hug to disappear in speed. As he disappear in speed and reappear in front of the Principal Nesu's door. As when they were in the blur, they saw that Izuku's speed was created by ice. When they were looking around the world that Izuku was traveling fast, they saw that it was all ice. It was cold in there. As Izuku told them, in this world, I could teleport through time and space because of the immense ice speed that I have because of my quirk, which is not really a quirk. It's just the power that has been given by him by a person in his head, which I won't tell until the third part. Who is the person? As when they got off the land, Marion Tamaki and Nejire were sad that they couldn't stay there a bit more longer to see all the places that Izuku has created in this rift of time. As they got to Principal Nesu's office, and Principal Nesu was like, "Huh, I told you guys 2 minutes ago to go get him, and you guys came back and only... I told you guys an hour ago to tell him about this, and you guys came back in only an hour and 2 seconds. Now you guys came back to my office in 2 seconds." As they all looked at Izuku, and Principal Nesu already knew what they were trying to say to him. As he smirked at Izuku, as Izuku smirked back at him. As Principal Nesu was shocked to see that he was smirking. As he was explaining to Izuku if he wanted to join the top 3 strongest students in UA. As Izuku said, the top 4. As Nesu was confused. As Nesu said, "You're gonna join?" As Izuku smirked and said, "Only if I get to stay with them at their dorms." As Nesu agreed with this. And now it's the top 4 strongest heroes in UA. As everyone saw that Izuku was packing up and leaving. As Mina and Uraraka, and Jiro, I think those are the 3 people that I already said that were spying on him, were sad that he was leaving. Everyone else were sad too, but Izuku didn't care about them. He only cared about 2 people. Momo Kurishima and... No way. Yes, Momo Kurishima and Mr. Aizawa. As Mr. Aizawa was happy for Izuku. As Izuku told Mr. Aizawa, "Hey, Mr. Aizawa, don't worry, I'll stay in your class. I am not leaving my favorite teacher." As Mr. Aizawa said, "Thank you, problem child." As Izuku smiled at him and just disappeared with everything. As everyone saw his blur, I was smiled to Mr. Aizawa. Oh, guys, sorry if you heard that voice. That was just my brother. I'm sorry. If you guys heard it again, that was just my brother. I'm sorry. As he appeared next to Mr. Aizawa, as Mr. Aizawa said, "Huh, you already put everything in your dorm over there?" "Yeah, I already told them that I'll be there in a few minutes after I say goodbye to you." As he hugged Mr. Aizawa and said to him, "Thank you for trying to protect me back when I was attacked by the Nomo." As Mr. Aizawa was happy for Izuku. As Momo was kind of sad. And Kurishima too, as he appeared in front of them and smiled at them and told them, "Goodbye, I'll see you guys in class later." As he disappeared and went to the dorms. Okay, let's check how long I've been doing the video. Oh, okay, I'll do it a bit more longer. As we cut to Izuku when he got to the dorm, Nejire was waiting for him in front of his door. As Nejire felt a bit of coldness going through coming towards her, as she knew this was Izuku. As when she looked, Izuku was right in front of her face. As she blushed like a tomato, just like a tomato, because there was a guy that she liked in front of him. in front of her, face to face. Like imagine how can I put it to this view? Imagine if your brother's face was a bit too close to your personal space, like that. As Isuku smiled at her and told her, "Huh, thanks for waiting for me." As Nejire said, "No problem." As they got inside the Isuku's new dorm, as Isuku told her to give him a second, as Nejire told him, "Can I go with you to your other world? To your time and space rift world?" As Isuku said, "Yeah, sure." As she grabbed her by the waist, as Nejire was blushing about this, and went as fast as he could and went into his world, as Nejire was in Isuku's rift in time world's house. As Isuku told her, "You can go to the living room." As she went to the living room and sat down, as Isuku was cooking dinner for her and him. As Isuku passed the dinner to her and started eating, as Nejire was surprised. As Isuku told her that in this time in Rift World, food is easy to get, and houses here are really simple. All you have to do is just build it. I build it out of my eyes and then imagine it, and then made it into a house that doesn't get cold. As Nejire was surprised about this, as he told Nejire to stay here, as he went out of the space and time rift and went back to his dorm, as he used his speed to put everything back. All my stuff were destroyed last episode, the first episode. So when Isuku was done, he had his jacket on the wall. He had a sword hanging on the wall, a picture of a werewolf on his wall, materials to build houses on the wall, and just school stuff to study and everything else. As Isuku just went back to the time and space rift and told Nejire to let's go. As Nejire grabbed Isuku and pulled him and said something through his ear. As Isuku blushed and said to her, "I like you too." As Isuku, if you guys want to know what she said to Isuku, I'm sorry to say this. I'm gonna say it. As she said to Isuku, "I like you." As Isuku blushed and Nejire too. As Isuku grabbed her and hugged her and said, "I like you too." As I am not gonna do this yet. You heard me, yet. As Isuku grabbed her and kissed her. As Isuku teleported them back to the dorms. As Nejire fell asleep on the way through the teleport. As he put her on her bed and he smiled at her and disappeared. As Nejire was dreaming about Isuku, as he was laughing when he heard this, and disappeared back to his dorm, and just went to sleep. Okay, guys, I'm gonna end this right here. Maybe tomorrow or today I might be doing what if that somebody wanted me to do. I am not gonna say who it was, but the what if was gonna be what if Deku was the reincarnation of Sasuke Uchiha. And yes, guys, that series, it's gonna be a bit too overpowered, and I'm gonna have to find a way to make him act like Sasuke. It might have a bit of betrayal, but yeah, I'm gonna have to do it that way. So thanks guys for watching my video. Bye.